So I'm finding the poisons that were used in Romeo and Juliet, right? This was a little bit harder than I expected. I was really hoping it would be something like really easy, just do some quick Google search and then boom, my entire final project would just be due. Well, not the entire, but like most of my project would be kind of done right there, but I actually had to do some research. Looking back, there was only like two main poisons, right? The one where Juliet used to fake her death, and then the one where Romeo used to delete himself from existence. So the first thing I started off is, remember when Juliet, she like grabbed the knife and she was literally about to like end her life right then and there, right in front of the friar, but thankfully friar had like conveniently some poison meant for faking your death. Like, I kind of thought it was funny because the friar just conveniently had some poison that was meant to fake your own death. Like, he's like, Julia, don't stab yourself. Like, I got the solution. I know I have it somewhere. Dude, here's this poison. It's used to fake your own death. I mean, no lie, that could be pretty useful. Like, just to put yourself in a coma at any given moment, at any time with no consequences. Like, okay, let's say you're procrastinating all your homework, you put it off, it's like, you know, I think I'll be able to do it all Sunday, and then you realize how much you screwed up. You could just take the poison, put yourself in a coma for about a day, and just tell all your teachers like, oh yeah, dude, I was in a coma like the entire time, and then, yeah, I wasn't able to do my homework. I still thought it was a little weird that Friar had some like poison to put yourself in a coma conveniently lying around. But then I remember Friar Lawrence, he was into gardening. He like, you know, messing with flowers and stuff, and then I remembered there's actually some deadly flowers that could like knock you out. There's not really that much in the book that kind of like point to what it is, but he does give us a lot of symptoms that could help us later on. So I thought about it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start with flowers and see what they did. So I did a quick Google search and it's like, can flowers put you in a coma? And then the first thing that popped up was like top 10 most beautiful but like most deadly flowers. So I'm like, alright, I'll check that out. I click on the website and then there's like a lot of flowers that I can't even pronounce half the names. They're like really complicated. But then the one that stood out to me the most was probably this one flower. It was a belladonna. Yeah, belladonna. Because the symptoms and side effects of this flower are pretty similar to Juliet's symptoms. So I looked more into it. I looked up, can belladonna put you in a coma? First website was a website just, you know, talking all about this deadly nightshade. It's one of the most toxic plants in Europe, right? This plant is native to Europe, Italy's in Europe, and Verona is in Italy. Apparently it's like really deadly, and it's a flower, so you know, any kind of kid could just like walk out. So like, I don't know, your average little Billy walking outside, he sees a flower, he's like, yo dude, I'm gonna go take this flower and give it to my crush, and then little Billy's in a coma for about a week. Like, this is really deadly. 2 berries can kill a child who eats them. So again, little Billy, you know, he sees a berry, he's kind of hungry, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna eat like 2 of these. The berry is really sweet initially, but then you get hit with the poison and RIP little Billy. There are ways to like neutralize the toxicity. Main way is a glass of warm vinegar, mixture of mustard and water, and it should, you know, cancel out the toxicity, I guess. Out of all the flowers I researched, I think this one has the most similarities. So I think Friar gave Juliet a vial and he put some like belladonna into the vial, and that's what I think did the trick. Moving on, we have, what poison did Romeo use to kill himself? So there really isn't that much said about his poison. All we know is it's really strong and it can kill anyone instantly. And it did, because Romeo, he had like no time to do anything. He tripped and just died. All we know is that the poison had to be somewhere, it had to be accessible in Verona, and it should be in during the Hold on, let me look up when Romeo and Juliet took place. It should be it should be available during the 1300s. So I did some research, and there's actually a lot of poisons used during the 1300s for some reason, but the deadliest ones that I could find is potassium cyanide or the medieval monk's hood. Both cause rapid respiratory failure, and if you drink that, yeah, game over, you're dead. Yeah, that's like my project. Those are the two main poisons that were used, and I hope I get an A. Like you should give me an A. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.